Good morning, everybody. As you can see, I'm looking gorgeous today. I have decided to treat you all to a lovely vlog this morning because I wanted to show off my war wounds to everybody. So I'm just going to show you. I have got a little bit of a cut on my head. I've obviously not done a very good job on my makeup on my eyes this morning. I'm not going to show you the rest of the bruises. I've got bruises everywhere. But I thought this would make quite an interesting vlog because there's some positives out of why my face is like this. So, quite a few of my clients already know because I've had sessions this week that I've had to get Craig to cover, and I did put the initial pictures on Facebook as well, so some of you already know the story. And for those of you that don't know me that well and are wondering why I look like this, well, I shall tell you. So I do a bike ride from London to Paris, and I come back without a scrape on me, feeling empowered, feeling like a really good cyclist because I've had days of just being on a bike and feeling like I've progressed so much from somebody who's never cycled to doing it. Get back to my normal rides, decide that I am slightly higher ability than what I obviously am. Been pushing myself against everybody's advice as well. I've pushed myself into all the top groups to go and do the most difficult hills that I can and keep up with speeds that are pretty tough going, because I had that sense of, I want to push my body as much as I can, and I still agree with that. I still think it was the right thing to do. However, I have noted that when you're cycling, it's not just about fitness levels, it's about experience as well. And doesn't matter how fit you are, if you haven't got the experience there, then you've got a tough challenge on your hands. So, third week out with the Mavericks, who Cheshire Mavericks are still amazing. I went out with the Mavericks. I went out on just to do probably an intermediate hilly ride. Got to the top of a very steep descent, and as soon as I sat down it, I did the complete wrong thing with my brakes. Now, I remember when I first started with the Cheshire Mavericks, Billy, one of the guys there, taught me about feathering my brakes and getting down onto the drops. And for some reason, I forgot that bit of information and not used it all through Paris, and I've been fine. Got home, kind of forgot that you do that again. So going down the steep descent, instead of getting on the brakes, I was on the bottom of the brakes, on the drops, which is like where the handlebar goes under. I was on the top of the brakes, which doesn't give you much leverage. I squeeze it in as hard as I can, which some of you might know that technically when heat gets behind a brake, it becomes very hot and the friction loses, so it doesn't work. Because it didn't work, I then squeezed harder instead of letting it go and feathering it, which would have probably helped. Heading straight down this hill, many thoughts going through my head. I knew I could kind of like throw myself on the floor, but I just knew that was going to hurt. I didn't really know where the end of the hill was, so I thought I'll carry on a little bit further and see what happens. And then my moment of sheer terror was when I saw that I was heading out onto a main road. And the only thing that I could think about in my head was, not that I believe in fate as such, but I believe that you can focus your mind on something to make something happen. So, like, as in, if you put all your energy into thinking positive, your outcome's going to be so much better than if you think negative. So I positively thought about the barbed wire fence that I could see in front of me, thinking it's going to hurt, I'm going to accept it, but the barbed wire is going to be better than a car coming to the side of me, so I'm going to think about barbed wire instead of cars. I thought that I just went straight into that. I've later learned that I did a bit of a cool trick before that happened. Apparently my bike did head towards it. Luckily there were no cars on the road. So I've obviously got somebody looking after me. So Lorraine, if you are up there and that was you, thank you very, very much. But I hit the curb, did a 360 through two metal bars, so missed them as well, and then face planted barbed wire. Hence why, you know, the scarring on my head, yeah, kind of looks like that. My glasses protected my face, so if you are a cyclist and you are thinking of going without your glasses, please note they did a really good job for me. I know I've got a black eye, but black eye will disappear. Helmet wise as well, Billy, when I first came to the club, I'd bought a helmet off eBay, and Billy just shook his head and he was like, you need a helmet that fits. So I went and invested in quite a dear helmet really, but I would say do not scrimp and save on helmets, because that helmet probably saved my life. Doesn't matter how much a helmet costs, does it really? You can't replace a life that you've got. When I went through so many different emotions. When I skidded through onto the road, I kind of got this surreal calm come over me, because do you know when I talk about facing your fear and doing it anyway? It was like that, and the whole sense that I just felt I was going to be okay. I just needed to accept I was going to get hurt, I was going to be fine. And I think doing that allowed my body to relax and not tense up, which probably meant I didn't come out with anything broken. My body's covered in bruises, but you can deal with bruises and cuts and the rest of it. I did have a moment when my neck went in a funny way, so I felt my neck flip down, which was probably when I was flipping over carrying a bike on my back, attached to my feet. And my immediate reaction was I broke my neck, because I couldn't actually feel any other part of my body at that time. And all I could think about was the fact that, you know, Lotus Fitness Academy, what I've built it up to be, and how proud I am of it, and how proud I am of every single one of you guys that attend it. And I see your progress every day, and it makes me feel like the luckiest woman in the whole entire world to be part of your journey. And I thought, oh my God, I fucked it up, because I'm not going to have that anymore. And then once I'd calmed down, I could start to feel the sensations come back in my arms and in one of my legs. So I thought, right, I've not broke my neck. There you go, that's fine. I did think I'd broken my leg at first because I couldn't feel it, but I think that's just my body's way of shutting down and healing itself, really, because that came back afterwards. And do you know what? There were so many things there's so many reasons why I shouldn't be here talking to you now, and I am, and I feel so blessed and so grateful and so amazed that you know, I could get up and walk away from such a crash. And I guess it's made me reevaluate such a lot of things, which is why I've decided to do the vlog today, because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your fear and how relevant that fear is to what you're actually doing. Because in retrospect, when I travelled to Paris, there was a lot of fear from getting through London. The traffic was quite bad. Getting all the way over to Paris, you think if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen on such a big trip. And yet I was completely safe in Paris, so there was no reason to kind of be afraid at that point. And yet at home, when I had no fear, when I was with the safest cycling club in the whole entire world, because they do really protect you, that was my moment when something happened. And sometimes you have no control over what would happen in certain situations. So, you know, whether it was my fault with the brakes or not, which it was my fault with the brakes, I didn't have any control out of the outcome of that. The only thing I had control of was the way that I was going to react to it. So by accepting it and relaxing, I really do believe that that's kind of changed the outcome of what I could have been through. Because I've got no broken bones. I might have a few scratches and bruises that I'm hoping will fade. But I'm here talking to you and feeling truly, truly blessed. So like when you pick up the phone and you speak to me and you say, I want to come to boot camp, but everybody's going to be fitter than me, I want you to just remember that, you know, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that I should have crashed and not woke up from that, but I didn't. I was absolutely perfectly fine. So you can't preempt what's going to happen. So next time you pick up the phone and you're asking your questions, you know, come down to the session, experience it, face the fear, and the majority of the times, you know, you'll be fine. And worst case scenario, even if you get there and you don't feel as fit as everybody else, or you really struggle with a workout, you'll still be fine. You're not gonna spontaneously combust because you came and you couldn't keep up with the workout, and you will get better at it, and you'll improve so much as well by just coming and just you know, listening to my guidance and helping me. Let me help you get to your journeys the same way as the Cheshire Mavericks helped me get to my journey. And even now, because I understand I'm going to have a bit more of a journey, but I'm not afraid of it. I think the next time I get on a bike, I'm going to be a little bit nervous, but I've got complete trust in the Cheshire Mavericks. I know they're going to help me. I know they'll do a little bit of work on breaks with me, and they'll do a little bit of work on hill descents. I'll vlog it and I'll show you my progression through it so you can see that too. But it will be fine. I will ride my bike again and I'll be absolutely fine. And I've learned from this experience as well. So, you know, I'll taper my brakes next time. I'll perhaps not put myself on such an experienced ride till I've got the experience behind it. So an experience that you have isn't, you should take from every experience that you have in your life, and you should make it better, because that's what we're here to do. That's why we are here and we are alive. We are here to make every challenge that we get improves the person that you are, improves the ability that you've got, and it can make massive changes. Because if I hadn't have cycled, yes, I wouldn't have a black eye, but I also wouldn't have met such amazing people. I wouldn't have incredible fitness levels right now at the moment. I wouldn't have seen Paris. So if this is my exchange to have all that, I'll gladly take it, and I'll gladly do it all over again. So for today's message, what I want you to do is I want you to find that thing that you're so afraid of. I was scared to fall off a bike throughout this whole journey, okay? I've fallen off the bike now, and I'm not afraid. I walked away from it. I am not afraid now. So take that fear that you've got, face it. It doesn't have to be coming to a boot camp. It might be the fact that you are afraid that your family won't accept you if you try and make changes to your diet. It might be the fact that you're... I've got one client at the moment who says people don't understand why she's doing so much fitness. She feels good doing fitness, and she feels that's part of her journey. You should always listen to what you want, because at the end of the day, it's your life and it's you who gets to decide what happens and what doesn't. Everybody else out there is deciding that for themselves. So you're listening to what they want for you isn't going to make their life any better, and it isn't going to make your life any better. So today, go out, do something that makes you afraid. Obviously, don't aim for barbed wire if you can help it. But go out there and just be your gorgeous selves and do something that you want to do. So I'm signing out. You'll probably never see me without makeup again. I'm also got a great Halloween face, so I might take a picture of this and recreate the makeup for 3 weeks' time. So my boot camp is, if you're listening now, you need to come up with a better costume than this. Again, so take care, enjoy your Wednesdays, guys, and I shall see you soon. Bye!